Ooh, it is windy outside, Fair West neighbors. It's February 26th. Here's a little recap of our last meeting that was on the 20th. Thanks to Hillary for coming up with an agenda, and everybody else who came out and brought food and hung out and chit-chatted. So, looking at the minutes, treasurer's report, we had $750-ish. We reimbursed Hillary for some things she paid for in the past, about $250. So we're down to about $500. We got a couple of donations. 5D Therapeutic Massage, thanks, and Sharon Lawson. So a little bit in, we got about $500. We talked about the Fair West Neighborhood Association sign that's in Fox Park, or was in Fox Park. It's currently in the Parks Department's hands. We're going to get, instead of 2 rows of letters, we're going to have 3. Hillary's following up with the Parks Department so that they finish it up, give it back to us, and we can have that sign as another avenue for disseminating information. Fairgrounds redevelopment legislation. Woo! There's always more to say. There's not a ton of new stuff there, depending on your perspective and how much you pay attention. The legislative session from the state has finished. They approved about $100 million of bonds in order to go towards fairgrounds redevelopment. We're still waiting on the announcement of the third community input session that the firm is going, Stantec, that has been contracted by the state, is required to complete. That has not been announced. Hillary gave us some insights from her time up at the legislature and also just attending lots of meetings. Look at the website, Fairgrounds Reimagined, Google it. And there are no surveys open, but you can see the high-level concepts that will be discussed again at the yet-to-be-disclosed time, but the upcoming community input session number 3, where they'll take even more feedback. And then at some point in the future, we'll see what sort of plan they present to the governor's office. We talked about the San Mateo buildings. That is down by San Mateo and Central. The 10-story one, there's been security, new fencing that's gone up around there. Anecdotally, I heard that fewer break-ins were happening from one of the surrounding tenants, Lobo Internet, who's down in that direction, or has some equipment down there. So good news. We're still waiting for construction, so we'll see. We'll keep an eye on it. We talked about marching on forward. Nonprofit stuff, 501c3 if you want to get fancy. Grant writing. We had Jay from Parkland Village, really inspiring, I would say. Nonprofit, not far from here, that is encouraging neighbors to help neighbors as we're all trying to age in place for as long as possible. And so he came and listened in and has been talking with a couple of different neighbors about all sorts of things, from what Parkland Village does to non-profit grant writing kind of things. So more will be developing in that space, I'm sure, because there's interest. We had some talk about events. I didn't take notes. Hillary took notes. I'll grab those later. Jocelyn from events mentioned Spring Fling sometime in early April. It'll be a party. It'll be fun. I don't know much more about the details, but if you want to assist and help and pay attention, look at this website, get to know Jocelyn, come to meetings, things like that. Send us a message. Join the mailing list, FWNA Everyone. I'll link to it. You can join that. I'm trying to get more people to use it, but it's the internet. There's 10,000 different ways to ignore and receive messages. Community announcements and going on. The PSL, the Party for Socialism and Liberation, was there. They had some announcements. They've got a ping pong thing happening tomorrow. They've got a bunch of social stuff. So I'll throw a link to their latest email that announced some events into the email, FWNA Everyone list. Our next meeting will be in March the 27th. The next one sounds like it's so Hillary will be putting together an agenda for that. Maybe other meetings will be coming up. That was about it. There was a lot more at the meeting. Lots of food. It was cool. And I think there's, now with the warm weather, hopefully we'll see some other ways to make some Well, meet and greets and social gatherings happen in the park. If you are interested, like if you have coffee that you would like to bring to one of those, that'd be cool, because last year or some number of months ago we did the produce swap, where we had a couple tables and some shade, a few chairs. People brought produce from their gardens, also some coffee, drink coffee, hang out, chit chat, get some produce or not. I don't know if there's much produce at the moment, but there's probably coffee. So if you have coffee and you want to bring it and you're available on a Saturday or Sunday, get our attention. There's a bunch of different ways. What else? Whoa, we're already at 5 minutes. When I get the minutes from Hillary, I'll post them. No rush, Hillary. Seriously. And if you have questions, abqfairwest@gmail.com is me. And there's also the email list. All right. See you around.